The world of Pokemon is filled with strange and unique versions of the Pokemon we already know about. Hence why today I wanted to really talk about some of the secret forms that exist there in the Pokemon universe. This is a big thank you, by the way, to Legacy PSK for actually putting together a lot of these and actually even having 3D models for a lot of these forms. So shout out to Legacy PSK, and ladies and gentlemen, what we're doing today is taking a look at those secret forms of Pokemon that you definitely forgot even existed. Starting off the list is going to be Green Weedle. This one was actually in one of the anime episodes. Now, you might be confused. Well, I mean, look at this right here and you will see what we're talking about. This image on the screen right here is one from the early episodes of the Indigo League. And what you may notice in the bottom left corner is two very interesting things, because there's actually two Easter eggs here, which the first one, of course, is the, Weedle itself. Now, I think what may have happened here is that the artists may have actually messed up when trying to draw, a potential Weedle, but then confusing that with a Caterpie. Hence why the colors look very much like the colors of Caterpie, being, straight up green. But then, of course, there's also some of it that might be blue, and yeah, you basically get yourself a green and blue Weedle, which, well, isn't the right colors for it, so makes it into essentially a new form. But there is another actual Easter egg here that you may notice if you pay some attention, which is that Todd Snap, the character who is the main character in Pokemon Snap, is actually right there as well, taking a picture of this green Weedle, meaning that he probably has that somewhere in his repertoire. And ladies and gentlemen, I mean, this is pretty awesome. Now, I would love if we got a form like this, or just these anime forms ever implemented in the future. Be really cool, because for the most part, I would make the argument that this may have just been a mess up on the side of the animators, trying to make potentially a Caterpie and then screwing it up. But who knows, maybe their intention was to create a really crazy and weird, green Weedle. Who knows? Next up is another form of a Pokemon from the anime in particular. This is the Pink Dodrio. Now, this was also during some of the earlier episodes where we can see a man essentially almost auctioning off, or, kind of showing off, almost like a circus, basically a Pink Dodrio. Now, this Pink Dodrio is very much akin to those pink Pokemon that we see during the Orange Island episodes, whenever Ash and friends just, kind of run into a bunch of pink Pokemon and stuff like that, or actually maybe the Pokemon that run into a bunch of pink Pokemon. Beyond the point though, this is a Pink Dodrio, which is really strange and makes you wonder why it's this color, because it doesn't look like its normal color whatsoever. And it kind of makes me wonder if it would be really fun to see a fairy type version of Dodrio added sometime in the future of Pokemon. And also, maybe they colored it like this to make it look more like a flamingo, potentially, right? Like, if you look at it like this, you might be like, oh, maybe it's a flamingo, It is what it is though. But what are you guys' thoughts and opinions on this one? Now, it can't be a secret forms video without me having to include the Mismagius Rayquaza form, or Ray form. So this is one that you guys may remember that was sort of happening when Ash and friends were going through this place, I guess, and run into a Mismagius that puts them as sort of into a kind of nightmare. And essentially in this nightmare, Mismagius takes on the form of a Rayquaza, making its colors look far more similar to that of essentially a shiny, sort of a shiny Rayquaza, which is sort of like black and goldish, whereas this one is kind of like, it's got a lot of black in it, but also it's got purple and red, more or less. But basically, this is taking on the form of Mismagius' version of Rayquaza, and honestly, I love this form back in the day. It was so freaking cool. And honestly, I was really always sad that this never got added into the, Pokemon games proper. Same way I was always disappointed that it was, just not like any, Lugia, like, Shadow Lugia within the official mainline games. But who knows, maybe in the future we'll see a Mismagius form of Rayquaza or Ray form happen. And honestly, this one is freaking badass. Next up is Skeletal Kabutops from the anime and the games, and this one is actually pretty awesome. Now, what you see right here is actually a basically, a skeleton of Kabutops. It's basically that, what it is. Now, this, skeleton's actually been the subject of many different things. One of these things was actually a lot of creepypastas, using these as a basis and making them more creepy than they really are. But in a general sense of the word, what you really see here is just a skeleton of a Kabutops long past. So essentially almost like a fossil, right, of those times and that sort of Pokemon. And that's really what Skeletal Kabutops in the core of it really is. It's just a skeleton skeleton of a Kabutops and nothing else really. But honestly, it would be really cool to see if this was ever added as an actual functioning Pokemon, because I don't know, I find that would be pretty interesting and cool to see, just like this random skeleton, almost like a night at the museum, you know, like that movie, just having all this, you know, like the things in the museum waking up. Well, imagine like this, you know, Skeletal Kabutops just chilling in the Pokemon games, or in like, you know, the Pewter City, like, like museum, the Pewter Museum. You just enter it and casually see like Kabutops, Aerodactyl and whatnot, just kind of lounging around and just, you know, chilling and walking and, you know, just having a good old time. Who knows? I think that'd be really fun. And finishing off this list is of course going to be Red Zygarde. Now, Red Zygarde is a form of Zygarde from the anime, and this one is actually pretty cool. So basically, Red Zygarde is, I think, the one that was used by Team Flare back in the X and Y anime. And what's really kind of fun is that it was fighting against another Zygarde, which was, you know, in its kind of normal form, you know, which is green. And honestly, I don't know, man, I'm a big fan of this, and I would love if they were to ever, like, actually have a Zygarde return. Because let's be honest, Zygarde is like one of the most neglected legendaries, like, ever. It just never got so much, like, love compared to all the other ones. But honestly, I'd love for Zygarde to maybe return and have this like red form that you can take on, which is far more angry, but also, you know, maybe more powerful. I mean, I think it would be pretty fun to see that, or have something like that show up, because honestly, Red Zygarde just generally looks pretty cool to me, and almost even cooler than the normal green version. So hey, what do you guys think about that? I mean, I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions, because personally, I love the way this one looks. So ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be the end of the video. Hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, then make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe for future Pokemon related content. Now, one thing I want you guys to also do is check out Legacy PSK on Twitter, who actually puts together, you know, a bunch of like these 3D images and stuff for these forms that, you know, often are forgotten, and also reminds me that they even exist. So shout out to Legacy, by the way, again, for doing the amazing work of actually putting this all together. And yeah, definitely check out Legacy's, you know, Twitter account, which is going to be linked down below. Please go check it out. And yeah, thank you so much guys for watching this video. If you guys, you know, want to stick around for future videos like this, or want to see more videos like this, then you know, let's hit that like button. Let's try to get this video to, let's say, 800 likes for another 5 secret forms in Pokemon that you guys want to see. So let's get that. Let's get 800 likes and you'll get a part 2 sometime very soon.